This is nice, Eddy. Truly nice.
It is the perfect day for reflection.
You know, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm reflecting on something that happened last night.
Oh? Your tone of voice shifted. Tell me more.
Well, I was out with a few friends. We were at that new cafe downtown. The one with the nice patio.
A pleasant setting?
Exactly, and at first it was great. We were all just making small talk.
Small talk? Explain this concept.
Of course, small talk is polite conversation. It's about topics that are not very deep. For example, we talk about the weather. Or we might discuss a recent movie. The goal is to be friendly and relaxed. It helps people feel comfortable together.
I understand. Humans have their rituals. We dogs prefer small smells.
Haha, very true. But then the conversation shifted. It shifted very suddenly. My friend Mark, he's very passionate. He brought up a topic. He started talking about tactical urbanism.
That does not sound small at all.
It wasn't, and I had no idea what he was talking about. But everyone else started nodding. They all looked so engaged and smart.
Ah, the pressure to belong.
Exactly, so I just sat there, quietly, trying to read the room. This is a very important idiom for today. To read the room. It means to understand the general mood. To sense the emotions of the people there. You do this without anyone saying anything. You just observe and feel the situation.
And what did the room tell you?
It told me I was in big trouble. It told me I was out of my depth. This is another key expression for us. To be out of your depth. It means you are in a situation that is too difficult for you to handle. Just like being in a pool, where your feet can't touch the bottom.
A terrifying feeling, even with a nice beverage.
Exactly, my mind went blank. I didn't know how to participate. And I felt a bit of panic. And then, Eddy, it happened. The moment I was dreading.
Mark turned to you.
Yes, he looked right at me and said, "What do you think about it, Ed?" My heart started beating so fast. It's the social pressure, you know? You don't want to look unintelligent. You don't want to say, "I don't know."
A common human fear. The fear of appearing vulnerable.
That's it exactly. So I had to improvise. And that's our main topic for today. how to survive these moments. The first and most powerful tool is called circumlocution.
What? That's a very big word, Ed.
It is, but the idea is simple. Circumlocution means talking around a word. It's when you don't know the specific noun, so you describe it using other words.
So you paint a picture with words.
Perfectly said, Eddy. Let's break this down into steps. There are 3 main ways to do this. First, you can describe its function. What does the thing do? For example, imagine you forget the word key. You could say, "It's the thing you use to open a door."
Simple and effective.
Or if you forget the word whisk, in the kitchen, you can say, "It's the tool for mixing eggs quickly."
The function reveals the object.
Exactly. The second way is to describe its appearance. What does it look like? Let's say you forget the word ruler. You can say, "It's a long, flat piece of plastic or wood. It has numbers on it for measuring."
That creates a very clear mental image.
It does. And the third way is to describe its category. What kind of thing is it? For example, you forget the word apple. You could say, "It's a type of fruit. It's often red or green and crunchy."
So you start general and get specific.
It's a kitchen tool. That's the category. That you use for cutting vegetables. That's the function. And the other person says, "Oh, a knife."
You turn a moment of forgetting into a collaborative game.
That's a beautiful way to see it. It keeps the conversation flowing. And you avoid that awkward silence. So circumlocution is a great first step. But sometimes you need more. So let's talk about tool number 2.
I am ready. My ears are open.
The second tool is asking clarifying questions. This is a brilliant strategy because it does 2 things at once. First, it buys you time to think. Second, it shows you are engaged. You are listening and interested.
It turns defense into offense.
Yes, in a gentle way. You shift the focus back to the speaker. Let's learn some useful phrases for this. A very direct one is, "What do you mean by that?" This asks for a simple definition. It's good for a specific word or term.
So you could have asked Mark, "What do you mean by tactical urbanism?"
I could have, and I should have. It would have solved my problem instantly. A slightly more formal version is, could you elaborate on that? To elaborate means to give more details. This is great for a complex idea.
It invites a longer explanation.
It does, and here's a third option. How does that apply to? And then you add a specific context. For example, how does that apply to our city? This shows you are thinking critically. You are connecting ideas.
Very clever. You learn while looking smart.
That's the goal. Okay, are you ready for the third tool?
Let's continue.
Our third tool is using general words. Sometimes being specific is hard, so we can use words that are more vague, but in a strategic way. For example, the words stuff and things. Instead of naming every item, you can say, he was talking about urban planning stuff.
It sounds informal but natural.
Exactly. It shows you got the general idea, even if you don't know the details. Other useful general words are aspect, issue, or factor. These sound a bit more formal. You could say, that's an interesting aspect of the issue.
You are commenting on the structure, not the specific content.
You are a master of summary, Eddy. That is precisely right. It keeps you in the conversation while you are still learning.
So, you were in the hot seat. You had 3 tools. What did you do?
Well, I took a deep breath, and I decided to use a clarifying question. I looked at Mark and I said, that's a really interesting point. Could you elaborate on the tactical part?
And what was his reaction?
He lit up. That means he became very happy and excited. People love to explain things they like. He gave a wonderful, clear explanation. And I actually learned something.
So your fear of looking silly was completely unfounded.
Completely, it was the opposite. I looked more engaged by asking. Not less. And that's the big lesson here. Now, I think this is a perfect moment to move to our tips section.
Let's summarize the wisdom.
Okay, tip number 1. Embrace not knowing. It's okay to not know everything. Nobody does. It's not a weakness.
It is an opportunity to learn.
Exactly. Tip number 2. Master circumlocution. Practice describing things. Describe their function, appearance, and category.
Practice this even when you are alone. Look at an object and describe it.
That is a fantastic practice method. Thank you, Eddy. Okay, tip number 3. Be a detective, not a defendant.
I like this metaphor.
Instead of defending your lack of knowledge, act like a detective. Ask those clarifying questions. Get the information you need. Tip number 4. Listen more than you speak. When you feel lost in a conversation, it's a good time to just listen carefully. You might pick up the meaning from context.
Patience is a virtue in language, too.
It is. And our final tip, tip 5. Use "that's interesting" as a bridge. If you need a moment to think, start your response with, that's an interesting point. It's a neutral, positive statement. It gives your brain a few extra seconds.
A conversational pause button.
Exactly. So those are our 5 main tips. Now, to become true masters of this, we need to talk about what not to do.
The common mistakes section.
Exactly. The first common mistake is the freeze. This is when you just stay silent. You panic and say nothing at all.
This creates very awkward silence.
It does. It stops the conversation and makes everyone feel uncomfortable. It's better to say something, anything. The second big mistake: pretending to understand. This is what I did for a few minutes. Just nodding and smiling.
Why is this a mistake?
Because the conversation will continue. The topic will get deeper. Eventually, your lack of understanding will become obvious.
You are only delaying the inevitable.
Exactly. It's better to be honest early. And the third common mistake: changing the subject abruptly. Someone is talking about urbanism, and you suddenly say, "So how about sports?"
That can be perceived as rude.
Very rude. It shows you weren't listening. It disrespects the other person's passion. So avoid these 3 traps: the freeze, the pretender, the abrupt change.
Excellent advice.
Well, Eddy, I think that covers it. This was a good conversation.
It was. The most important lesson for me is that communication is not a test.
I love that. Say more about it.
It is a bridge. It's about connecting with another person. Not about having all the right answers.
That's the perfect final thought, Eddy. Remember that everyone, your goal is to connect, not to be perfect. Practice these skills, and you will feel much more confident.